Hello and welcome to Cinema Fanatics. My name is Kerry. I am your resident cinephile tonight. Unfortunately, our regular co-host, John, won't be able to make it tonight because he is still recovering from weeks at work. It's a long week for him, and so we've decided just to give him a few weeks off. But I am joined by Minty, the cat, as we had a stream a couple of weeks back. Talking about stuff, and bring him in now. So hopefully he'll be able to hear us and contribute to our watch along of the Quiet Earth.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Minty. How are you tonight?
Hello, hello. A
Yes, we
few
can hear you.
technical issues tonight, so sorry about that, but I'm finally here.
Ah, that's good to see you. Well, not see you, but hear you.
Have your presence.
Yes, have your present. That's
I'm like the
nice word.
Mr. Ons.
Yes. So, have you heard of the Quiet Earth movie, or do you know anything about it? Or
I think I have, yes. I think it's oh god, isn't it an early mid or early 80s film?
it's mid 80s, yeah, mid 80s.
Yeah, I think I have seen it. But I may have to remind myself
Okay. Well, the
on
link
my.
in to the movie is for anybody who's watching us live is in the description. So we'll give you a wee heads up when we're going to start watching it. Um, yeah, this is a very minimal cast with only three people. So it was New Zealand's first possibly major success in world cinema. They had, other movies, but nowhere near as profitable, and probably helped by Carl Sagan's ringing endorsement, saying it was very scientifically factual and accurate. So that's a good thing, I guess.
Sagan was doing the rounds at that time, wouldn't he? Sort
Yeah.
of very very early 80s, mid 80s or so.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's easy for. Well, I watched it a few weeks back myself, because I have the physical copy, but I didn't know it was on YouTube, so I thought, oh, no, fuck it, I'll try and see if it's on YouTube and have a watch along of it some night. And lo and behold, here we are tonight. So
I think there was probably a bit more interest back then, with sort of space exploration and such.
yeah, I
Uh,
think it's also because of the nuclear theme films of today,
mm,
like War Games, Threads, The Day
yes.
After.
Well, I mean, back then, I mean, the
Testament.
Cold War was still something that could have become a hot war.
Oh yeah, big time, yeah. But it's
Um,
implied there's
yeah,
no country that's responsible in this, so it's just kind of the end of the world. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know if I'm, standing alone on this. 'Cause I think there's quite a few horror people who would agree, but I think some of us just love a nice dystopian film as well. Sort of bad
yeah.
bad combination sort of thing.
Well, Threads always gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
famous one.
yeah, it's I always whenever somebody talks about nuclear war or war in any kind of I always say nice knowing you because I always
Yeah,
think nuclear war is on the way. Then
that's right. I mean, do you remember a few years ago, probably about, oh, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years back when there was that volcano that erupted?
oh, the ash cloud, yeah, over Iceland, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was it was probably about 15, 16 years ago, and
Yeah,
basically it
that's
sort
right.
of we couldn't really use planes for quite a while in, that part of Europe, and
Mm,
that was just one volcano.
yeah,
So you can
I remember that
imagine,
all right.
nuclear fallout.
Yeah, well, thankfully it wasn't that, but it was just kind of volcanic ash. But yeah,
Yeah, that's right. We live in a fragile balance.
big thing. I think as
Yeah.
well. I watched the day after, and I'm always of the opinion the day after is the appetizer. Threads is the main course. You know.
Well,
The day after
wasn't
was very
Thrones the one
tame.
that they didn't want to put on? They were very reluctant to re-televise it often because it just scared the hell out of people.
I don't know the full story of it, to be honest. Yeah, just my
Uh,
partner Lexi. She grew up watching it in England, so and she made me watch it for like a couple of years back, and I was
mm,
like, oh crap, this is not the best movie for me at the minute.
yeah, I
Mm.
think it's I think it's one of these things that people just can't imagine. You
Yeah,
imagine the worst thing and then multiply that several times over.
I think the fact is it was so it didn't hold any bars or anything. It just went straight for the lead up to it, and then a result of it, and then
Yeah,
aftermath. It didn't sugarcoat anything. It just whereas as I'm saying about the day after, it was tame in comparison. But then before that, you had Testament.
Testament.
Yeah,
Oh, I know a
1980.
band called Testament, but I've not heard of a film.
All right. Well, hang on. I'll get the box art. No box. If I can find it. Oh, crap.
Just admiring your film library in the background there.
Okay. That's the.
Oh, that image rings a bell. Actually, I think
mm,
I might have seen that cover somewhere before.
yeah, it's directed by Lynn Littman
Hmm.
and stars Jane Alexander, William Devane, Ross Harris, and Roxana Zal. And then there's newcomers like Lucas Haas, Philip Onglum, and yeah, it was a TV movie, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then, well, no, actually, no, the day after was a TV movie. And then,
Was it a TV series or like a couple of parters, or is it one long one? I forget what it was because it's only been on TV a couple of times since it originally came out.
well, this was 83, and it's only 89 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it might have been, oh, actually, Kevin Costner's in it as well.
Ah,
There you go. So it has a few famous people.
yeah.
Must be one
No,
of his
I
first
think it
movies.
was. You remember things like Survivors and such. You get like a normal sort of
I do know
BBC.
the show, but I've never seen it.
Well, there are two versions of the original, and there's one that they made about 15, 18 years ago,
Hmm.
which is all mod cons, new liquor paint, but the same
Yeah.
kind of story. You know, it's like a lot of stories they can just keep redoing, them, like War of the Worlds or something like that. Just keep redoing it every so many years.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think with War of the Worlds, the '50s version is the prototype and the
Mm.
best iteration of it. I think. Spielberg. So was it Spielberg who did the?
You mean is that the one with Tom Cruise in it about
Yeah,
20
that's
years
the
ago
one.
now, was it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, he's got that really annoying daughter in that.
Yeah, Dakota Fanning.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember reading the book years and years back, as a teenager. Um, and it stands up.
It does. Yeah,
Yeah. But I
it's
think,
very.
I mean, John Carpenter was saying, there's only two types of fear: the fear within and the fear without. Like,
Yeah.
the fear that comes from outside. It's just like you don't know what these things are. They just arrive,
Hmm.
and they've got their own plan. And like you're part of it, but you're not really like the major theme. It's like yeah, whatever. We're just here to take over, sort of thing.
Yeah,
So,
you're expendable.
I was going to say actually, speaking of the sort of Cold War era sort of media and all that kind of thing, have you seen Roy Thinnis and The Invaders?
Don't think so.
Well, if you like the X Files, I think you might like the Invaders. It's
I do
sort
like
of
the
very,
X-Men.
very late 60s.
Okay.
But Roy Thinnis was actually in a couple of X Files episodes as like a sort of bit of a homage to
Hmm.
coming in and doing a couple of roles. But yeah, he's I think he's still alive actually. But they only did 2 series of it, but it's like really solid. It's got a
Yeah, he's
proper
still alive.
fan
He's
following.
88 this year.
Yeah, yeah.
X
Well, that's
Files.
good.
What was he in? See.
He was in what was it,
Oh yeah.
Satan's
Yes.
School
Yeah.
for Girls or whatever.
Yeah. Played Jeremiah Smith, the alien who heals Mulder's mother when she was in the
That's
hospital.
it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he was in a couple of X Files, but yeah, that's
Hmm.
one of the ones he did.
All right.
But he's absolutely well known for the Invaders. Quinn Martin had him on and all that.
Hmm.
But it took years to come out on DVD, and I actually there was a guy in Nottingham that made sort of VHS rips to
Yeah.
DVD, and he made like a whole package.
Oh,
And I
cool.
remember when I left university, I just sent £15 down to him or so, and he sent me this beautifully curated little collection of all the
Hmm.
episodes. And I think it took a good 18 years later. That's when it came out on DVD. So I've had it for years, but
Well, according to
well recommended.
Wikipedia says the Region 2 releases have been Region Season 1, 2007, and Season 2, 2009.
Mm,
So it's not that old, considering.
yeah.
It might be still, still for.
Well, I tell you, there's one thing as well. I've got one is German and the other one is British,
Hmm.
and the order of the episodes are different in the German version. I think they cut some of the episodes out.
Oh, okay.
So you kind of need to get. I think you kind of need to get the British or American one
Right.
because well, you just watch it. It's really good. Anyone who hasn't seen it, if you like a bit of can't trust anyone, everyone's against you, sort of Red Scare kind of thing,
Hmm.
sort of Cold War era paranoia.
Hmm.
There's a lot of, like the Ink Press file, and there's
Yeah.
a whole load of cinema that was very sort of can't really trust anybody, can't trust the government.
Yeah.
You know,
Manchurian Candidate with
that's
Sinatra.
the one.
And,
Yeah, someone Manchurian Candidate. Yeah, the Ink Press file with
hmm.
Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Um,
He did, I think 5 movies. What was the character's name again? See, I think.
mm, Well,
I
he's
did
been around. I wonder how old he is now. He must be getting on a bit now, Michael Caine.
Eyes 100 odd, I think. Nearly
Is
100.
he?
I think so.
Well, my mate, Get Carter, where he throws that bloke off the car park in Gateshead.
Yes.
Well, I went to university up there in Newcastle, and I
Hmm.
remember that car park was still there, and it still had its fans that would come around and
All right.
photos.
Oh, well, that's good. He's 93, apparently.
93.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Michael Caine.
Uh,
Well, he was in Children of Men. Do you remember Children of Men a few years back?
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Because he
Clive Owen.
plays that eccentric hippie type guy
Hmm.
who's there with his sort of flavoured marijuana or whatever it was.
His favorite herb.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
quite a
do remember seeing him in that, and then
depressing
he's
film.
also in a lot of Christopher Nolan films as well,
Oh, was he?
he played, was it Harry Brown? I think his name was. Played a kind of a pensioner vigilante.
A bit like Rutger Hauer and Hobo with a Shotgun, was
Yeah, but I think a bit more refined, shall we say?
it? Right.
A bit more, whereas Hobo with a Shotgun is a bit more culty.
Yeah.
Harry Brown is a bit more mainstream.
I haven't seen it. I mean, I've got Hobo with a Shotgun, and I've always liked Rutger Hauer, but
Hmm.
yeah, in fact, he died. When did he die? It was a few years ago now.
Yeah, it was about 2017, 2016, or I think,
Was it?
around that time.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah,
always good though, Rutger Hauer. I mean,
yeah,
I think seeing him in The Hitcher, I mean, he's genuinely scary in The Hitcher. Very
yes.
intimidating. Uh,
He's also very good in a lot of Paul Verhoeven films. You
Paul
know,
Verhoeven.
where like Turkish, not Turkish Delight. What was it called? Soldier of Orange,
I don't think I've seen that.
or Soldat van Orange. For those Dutch listeners who watch your viewers.
No, I haven't seen that. That's one I haven't seen.
Okay.
Is that when he was doing predominantly sort of? Did he do TV shows in Holland first and film in Dutch
Howard
language,
or
and then
Verhoeven. I think Verhoeven did a lot of films first, you see, and then
right,
because he was funded by the government at the time to kind of like, you could say propaganda, but not really.
propaganda?
For a liberal mind of Verhoeven, like, and at the
Mm,
time the Dutch government was very conservative, so
alright.
he wouldn't have liked it. So
But didn't Cronenberg technically get funded by the Canadian government at
he
one
did,
point?
yes, that's right. So Shivers, Rabbit, Scanners in the Brood, I think.
That's awesome. Imagine that on the public purse.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
why
it.
not though? I mean, it's better than a lot of things, I
Well,
think.
that's, you see, that's why they were quickly turned out, because they're,
Uh,
had to get a script, shoot it, and have it ready before the end of the tax year. So, you know,
yeah.
you could argue, thingy, Uwe Boll did the same. So,
Okay.
in Germany. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, how it works over here, there's always some kind of fund for something.
oh yeah, there is. Yes, same
You
here.
have to know how to tap into it and fill in the paperwork.
Yeah, that's it.
You know.
I think here you see it's a bit more stricter.
Yep.
Because there's a film came out a couple of years ago, big Oscar buzz about it, and Colleen Keown, The Quiet Girl.
Mm,
Basically about a young girl who goes to stay with family in the Gaeltacht area, and everything's true Irish. But it got a lot of Oscar buzz because it was the first Irish language film to be nominated for an Oscar.
uh,
So yeah, but when they marketed it, on the physical media side of things, so for the English translation, so
did the translation? Did they not subtitles?
oh no, they did no, I mean like on the box art they put the
Ah,
Quiet
yeah,
Girl.
yeah.
They didn't give the Irish title, so because I
Mm,
I picked it up locally at a film shop local, and I was looking for it. And I was looking for actually on Colleen Keown. I couldn't see the name of it, and
mm.
then one of the assistants or sales assistants said, "Oh, it's under the Quiet Girl." I was like, "Oh, right, okay."
So they went for the international title then, or
Yeah, they did the English
right?
language version. Yeah, title.
Well, we
But
find that a lot over in Germany. So imagine if you had like a film in America, a Hollywood film or something.
hmm,
Well, maybe not today with Hollywood films because they would have the same name, but often in Germany they had totally different names for everything. So it's actually very difficult to kind of know which film you're talking about over here because
hmm,
9 times out of 10, if it's an older film, it'll have a different title.
yeah.
Uh,
I think just an example M. In English it's just M, but in
mm,
German it's I think M and ein Staatsdukt und ein Murderer. So
mm-hmm,
so it's the full Fritz Lang title. So
yep,
if you're looking for that, you'll find it because you'll see the famous cover art of Peter Lorre looking behind him in the mirror with the M on his coat.
yes.
So I don't know, but sure, it's all fun and games. So we'll get started in the next 5 minutes, if that's okay, people who are watching, and if it's okay with yourself, Minty. So just a reminder, the link for the movie is in the description. So what else can we talk? Let's see. Speaking of local pickups, I just picked up a few. There's one of Bruce Campbell's lesser known films. Okay, Minty's gone. Can you hear us, Minty? Nope. Okay. And secondly, well, So, two little pickups. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. So, the invaders. Check it out on YouTube. If it is, I might get a watch later. Oh, hello? We lost you once again. Uh, Earth calling Minty. Come in, Minty. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Dropped out.
Ah, right. Okay.
Who would trust technology?
Yeah, well, it's not got the best reputation at the minute, has it?
No. Yeah, I think what it is, things are too complicated.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
I think here, well, in our area, it's our broadband's really crappy at the minute.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening because of lost connection with printers and whatever.
Well, I tell you what though, I don't use Windows anymore, but when they upgraded from 10 to 11, now my scanner doesn't work anymore.
Oh,
But there's so much stuff that just doesn't work anymore. So it's
hmm.
that bad that I mean, I don't use Windows a lot, but I just thought, well, I'm not going to bother with it.
Excuse me.
So yes,
Now,
we were discussing different names for films, different titles,
yes.
um, and yes, Germany has different titles for most things, but I've only been to Ireland once.
Okay.
I've been I've only been to Dublin, but one thing that I noticed immediately was that everyone's basically bilingual.
That would be a generalization, but not everybody is.
So it's not like, so say if you go to Wales and there's not as many people who speak Welsh now,
Mm.
but there's more. I found more people could speak Irish and English when I was there than you know.
Yeah, well, you see, a lot of the signage of places and towns and is in
Mm,
Irish and English.
yes.
But there is only dedicated areas where Irish is only spoken,
Okay.
called the Gaeltacht areas, where the rest of the island is, English is spoken. But
Yes.
it used to be the rule that if you got a reasonably good grade in your final Irish in your leaving cert, you could get a job in the civil service or a guard, policeman. So
Mm,
now it's nothing much. But if you can speak Irish from before, I think 2007, um, and your job requires it, you get an extra, I think, €70 a week.
yeah.
So yeah, like I got a C in Irish myself in my leaving cert, so I was happy enough with that. So
So am I right then? So when I was at school in England, we you do English and then maybe a foreign language or so.
Hmm.
So in Ireland, do you do is it Irish first, then English, and then a foreign language, or how does it work?
Right. Our core subjects are Irish, English, maths.
Maths, okay.
Yeah, that's our core subjects. And then afterwards, you can do a foreign language if you want to, or like any foreign language if it's possible, like French, German, Spanish, Latin, Hebrew,
Yep,
whatever. I did French myself,
I did Spanish.
and I did German for 6 months, and then I did Spanish in college.
Mm.
So,
Well, I
and
think you chose the better option then.
yeah, I kind of did a
I mean, I remember grammatically Spanish was not too difficult, but the pronunciation, I mean,
mm,
a few weeks ago, I was with some native Spanish speakers, and they were just laughing. The moment I spoke Spanish, they just started laughing because it's terrible. The way I
yeah.
speak Spanish, absolutely terrible. But
Well, I remember one time outside our local, there was a couple of Dutch people, and
oh yeah,
well, just I spoke to them in German, and they spoke back to me in German, whenever. But I just happened to say it in English. Are you Dutch?
mm,
And they said yes. So I started talking about my own level of Dutch language, which is very basic. But they kind of laughed because when I said opperdomme, which means screw you or fuck you, so
all right.
so like most languages, if you learn the swears first, you'll get on.
That's
So
I'm so proud that I never actually bothered to learn the really naughty words in German. It's the one language I didn't blemish.
oh,
So I can swear in most of the languages, but my German's and the thing is to swear correctly in German is actually not easy.
scheiße.
Well, you can say that, but I mean, the level that I mean compared to native British English or something, like
Hmm.
we have so many more words. You know, we got
Yeah,
some really arcane ones as well.
hmm. That's true.
But no, I tried to keep German fairly clean and polite.
Hmm.
But,
Well, when I was in Germany myself, about 26 years ago, my favorite phrases was "Entschuldigung, Sie bitte." Sprachen Sie English?
depends where. I
um,
mean, in Berlin, a lot of people speak English in the centre, but it depends where you are in Germany. If you're in Hamburg or something, maybe, but
hmm.
it really depends where you are. And a lot of the younger ones, yeah, they will, but it really depends where you
No,
are. And
I'm of the opinion, at least try to speak the language,
hmm
and then that way, at least if you get it wrong, at least they'll tell you, they'll appreciate you learning or speaking a wee bit of the language. Like I can speak French, enough to get by to hold my own. Same with German, but Spanish, I've lost everything I've learned.
well, I think languages, yeah, you have to use it.
Yeah.
But I did Spanish as a kid, literally as a young kid.
Mm,
And I can still read it, but actually I have to really, really remember how to do things, and then when I speak, it'll sound terrible.
yeah.
You know.
See, I would read a lot of German myself, but it doesn't
Mm.
mean I can understand it. You know.
What you mean grammatically, or the nouns,
Yeah.
or what?
Well, I've got a couple of books in German,
Mm.
and I know what's going on and the story of it, but I wouldn't be able to say it like verbatim. Like the sentence structure always gets me.
Yeah, but
Especially when I was
it's
writing.
if you use it though. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was in England, it was very, very difficult to find a native German speaker.
Mm,
I mean, England doesn't have a very good standard for languages anyway, truth be told. Whereas if you're in Holland or Germany or wherever, then in Germany you have to study like three languages,
yeah.
and they do a lot more there's a lot more focus on languages over here than in the UK. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's true. Mm.
I dropped languages when I moved schools when I was doing GCSE. Sort of 14 to 16 age, and because of that, my next school didn't have Spanish, so I had to just give Spanish up. Because I
Yeah.
wasn't going to learn German at 14 to 16.
Oh,
Why would you do that?
yeah. Well, what's the point? Like, you're going to go to Germany, but then, mm,
Well, I hadn't thought of that at the time.
yes.
I hadn't thought of that. So the first school I went to had French and Spanish,
Mm.
and I think German's harder grammatically than those two languages.
Well, a friend of mine, she's from Delft,
Yep.
and near Haarlem.
Oh, I've been to Harlem. Yep.
Yeah, and she was learning, or she was doing German in college, and
Mm,
she was like, being Dutch, she was, flying through it. But then there was a Spanish lad in the class, and he was doing Spanish, and some people complained, not myself personally, but some people complained, why is he, doing Spanish, and he should be doing French or German or something,
mm.
because like we're learning language, why can't he, instead of speaking his own language, but such is
Well,
life, it
I
happens.
remember when I was doing my degree and I did an engineering subject, and the easier option for people that didn't want to do engineering subjects, they do a language because that was easy.
Mm,
It's like, oh, just do a bit more French that I did it. Did that at school, did it at A level, and I think I'll just do a bit more French because I don't want to do any engineering. It's like, oh, okay, you
mm.
know. It's like, why are you on an engineering degree if you don't want to do engineering?
Yeah, well, it makes a bit of sense, like, to carry on what you got degree in, or looking to get the degree in, rather than something you're not.
I think languages to me they're just tools, then they're useful for basically getting your point across and basically becoming aware of what's going on around you. So you
Yeah,
need them, but they're only tools. You have to use them.
true.
Mm.
Okay, we'll start the movie in 2 minutes. So
Right, let me just grab my thing. Hang on, where are we?
you're fine.
Grab my thing. That doesn't sound good, does it?
Well, language again. Language again, so
Yes. Where are we? Did I get that? I think yes, I did.
and
Okay.
if you're watching John or watching back, John, we understand you perfectly clear, even with your northeast accent.
Well, I've got an advantage because one of my mates is from the northeast, and I did university up there. So
Yeah.
um, it took me a while
Hmm.
to work out what they were saying, but I've probably
To
got
be
that
honest, I
advantage.
actually can, right, I'm not disparaging anybody, especially from the northeast of England, but I can understand that accent quicker than I can understand a lot of, or I can't understand like Cornwall at all, like
Right.
the Devon Cornwall accent, especially when they speak localisms. But I can understand northeast of England really well. I can understand Yorkshire now because Lexi's from Yorkshire. But put me in an environment with a Brummie, and I'm
Mm.
like, can you repeat that, please, a wee second? And Birmingham would be not my second home, but my fourth home.
Mm.
So I don't know.
It's what you used to. I mean, I remember every time I went to a different part of Germany, it was like learning German again, almost from the
Yeah,
beginning. You know.
that's what they said to us. There's High German and there's Low German. The Low
Yeah.
German is the regional dialects, and High German is the common tongue.
Yeah.
That's what I was told when I was learning German. So,
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I forget which part of Germany it was, but there's one dialect where they just miss off all the endings,
all right,
and
okay,
you kind of need the endings,
yes,
and that was a challenge. I remember that being very difficult. But it's levels. I mean, I remember even when I lived in the UK, if I'd got like a radio program and there were three speakers in one program, it was very difficult to follow.
mm,
And then eventually you get to a certain level, and then it's you can handle it. It's
Well,
just exposure.
there's a famous clip going from RTE News a couple of years
Yeah.
back, and there's a Kerry farmer being interviewed about his sheep, and his accent, for anybody not Irish, it's scary. It's quick and it's
Right.
it's very funny, but it's if you're Irish, you can understand a wee bit of it, but you need to be from the locale to get the full meaning. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but
There's like this is the standard, and these are the extremes.
yes, that's it.
So,
That's
did you
exactly
used to
it.
get Rabsy Nesbitt on the TV in the
Yeah,
'90s and the late '80s?
yeah, I
Yeah,
love Rob G. Nesbitt.
yeah. Well, we used to watch it with the subtitles on.
Well, I had my own subtitles because my dad is Scottish, so
Okay.
he was able to translate for us.
It was awesome. My mate's from Glasgow, and
Yeah, that's where he is from, Denniston and
yeah,
Glasgow.
it was do you know Govan
Yeah, yeah.
around there?
My
But
dad
it
always
is funny. Sometimes when he's had a couple of beers, my mate will start speaking like the vernacular form, and it really is funny.
yes, it is. That's true. Okay, gang, let's
Yeah,
get on this quiet air train before it's too late. So, in 3, 7, 2, 1, play.
playing. I think we need some Factor 27
Yes, I think so.
sunblock here.
It's a beautiful shot, though. Kind of reminds me of Walkabout a wee bit,
Uh,
the Nicholas Roeg film.
wonder how long it would take them to actually film that. Then I've never been up at that time in the morning to do that, but I wonder how long it would take.
I would assume a couple of hours.
Mm,
Getting the shot set up, and especially if it's rising, so you're setting up in kind of near dark. So
yeah, basically you would, wouldn't you? Yeah.
so it would be at least you'd hope that okay, you're going to use rigging to light up. You set up their cameras and stuff, and then turn them off and wait for the sun to rise, or at least
Yeah.
show its face or something. But
Yep.
yeah, it does get kind of set like kind of a tone, doesn't it? This film, this intro. I think anyway. As if you hadn't seen it for a while, you wouldn't
I,
know.
I I don't remember. Usually there'll be certain parts, and I'll think, I've seen this, but
Hmm.
nothing's come yet.
Okay. Well, it is a very slow open, to be honest with you.
Well, I think older films tend to be slower, but I think slower and fuller. You
Yeah,
don't need to. Like the new Doctor Who over the last 20 years or so compared to the old one. It's like it's too quick to follow. It's too frenetic for me.
I think that's because they're kind of rushed episodes, as in they're,
Mm,
like the classic Doctor Who would have been, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then the next part the week after, and then the week after might be another part,
yeah,
or, it might be a multi-part story, but whereas, the current Doctor Who is like one episode, maybe two, for the
right.
same storyline.
So they sort of compressed it in.
Yeah, I think that's,
Yeah.
but saying that, a lot
Well,
of, I
they've
do
probably
like
got a
Doctor Who.
budget these days as well because seeing sort of John Pertwee and Tom Baker run around. I mean,
Hmm.
they didn't have a massive budget.
No, they didn't. And I think a lot of the sets they were using were obviously very practical at the
Yeah,
time, but they're kind of more, um, I don't know what the right word would be, language, but kind of more, like newer sets are kind of are newer, they're flashy. Don't know what the opposite of flashy would be.
you mean like a bit like the French Connection when you see the New York shots, or
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
like sort of
grounded.
lived in,
Yeah, yeah, lived in. Yeah,
grimy, down at the heel.
yes,
Yeah,
it's kind of like other sort of films like that as well. But yeah, like whereas now it's like It's too flashy. It's
Yeah. It's like it's like an extension of IKEA, sort of corporate bland.
mm,
Like everything's like the same, but really boring.
yeah.
You know,
Okay, this is Bruno Lawrence.
I have seen this.
Yeah.
I'd remember that hairstyle.
What
He's like, "What was I drinking? What was I thinking?
was that
Where am
sinking?
I?" He's sort of doing that, that Ripley scene in
Yeah.
Alien. No,
Yeah.
Alien 3.
Yes. And she's going to get with her hair in the.
That's right. But she looks
Where's it
really
going?
good with
Where's it
short
going?
hair. But he just, he's got a bit of a centre parting going on.
Yeah.
I will
I think
never
it was
drink
Sigourney
ever
Weaver. It was
again.
more like, what have you done to me? I had lovely hair until this movie. David Fincher's fault.
I mean, it's a bit like Sinead O'Connor. She could get away with it, but a lot of people they can't really get away with it.
Well, she did because she was kind of more punky and
Yeah,
controversial.
she
Well,
was
not
very controversial.
well to certain people, yes.
Well, she wasn't a big fan of the Pope.
No, she wasn't, or the church in general.
Yeah,
But I think that's what kind of endeared herself to a generation of Irish
yeah,
people as well, because myself included, like our parents would have been like, God fearing, blah blah blah, whereas our generations, you don't have to go to mass.
Oh, well, when I was at school, you probably had the same. Did you have religious education? Because we still had it when I was at school.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So it's really funny. It's like when you speak to younger people now, and then say if something comes up like a reference or like a pub quiz type situation, and you'll say, "Ah, yeah, Ecclesiastes section something something something." And they're like, "How do you know this?"
Hmm.
It's like I have no idea.
Well, you see, I think going by what I've heard, like you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in England it would have been more generic religion. Religion. It wouldn't have been
Well, we
focused
had
on
to
one.
study all religions, like
Yeah,
Hinduism.
here is about Catholicism or just Catholicism in general.
Oh no, we weren't following. No, no, not Catholicism. No way. No, it was more sort of. Oh, the Protestant Revolution and all that. Henry
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Eighth,
yeah.
all
All the
that sort of
religious
stuff.
history.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
No,
I
before
mean,
it was.
basically, he asked the Pope if he could have a divorce, and he said no. He
Yeah.
said, "Okay, fine, I'll just change the religion of the country then,
Mm.
as you do."
Well, you got the power, so yeah, then relate
Well,
them.
it didn't help him though, because I mean, he nearly went bankrupt. He kept on having wars with France, but he
How'd
didn't
that
do
work
very
out?
well for Henry the Eighth. Unfortunately, he didn't have an easy time of it.
Well, sure, it was probably stressful trying to have a son.
Well, he had a few of them knocked off. He didn't kill all his wives. Some of them he just sort of banished and put them basically under house arrest.
Yeah.
You know,
I had 6 wives and beheaded 4 of them, didn't he? Something like that.
something like that. He had quite a good innings.
Mm.
You know, so yeah. I mean, I think the Protestant Revolution started in what is now northern Germany.
Yes, that's right. Martin Luther.
Like
Yeah.
Luther, is it Lutheranism?
Lutheran,
Lutheranism?
Lutheran, I think it is.
Martin Luther and all that.
Yeah. The 95 theses or some thesis or something,
Right.
nailing them to the door of the church.
Yeah, they did things for real in those days, didn't they?
Yeah, hardcore.
Yes. What kind of car is that then?
That is a
Not a
Lancia.
Datsun, is it? Oh, a Lancia.
No, it could be a Lancia.
He's looking very much so the part in this time in history.
Yes.
You remember in the 70s, the 80s, well, early 80s, everything was brown, basically.
Yeah, I do.
That was the way.
Like our family car at the time was very kind of like a burnt copper.
Oh, yes. Was it the metallic kind of coffee, kind of brown colour?
No, it was kind of orangey, but
Yeah,
like the
I
car
know what you
there.
mean. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
There's an Opel Cadet we had.
My grandfather had a Ford Cortina, like a sort of metallic, greeny coloured Cortina.
Oh, yuck.
It was actually quite nice. It sounded good and it looked good, but you don't see stuff like that anymore.
No. It's always black, white, or red.
Uh, so I think that's
Smashing.
breaking and entering, that is, isn't it?
I think it is. That's what it's called.
Mm. That's what happens when the shops are shut on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Look at that pattern on the wall.
That's tribal, I think. Could be original.
Yeah. Looks like they got a bit of a leak.
Or not, no, that's New Zealand, so it would be Maori, maybe. Yeah. Leak. Yep.
Dear.
Smashing time.
I'm getting vibes of, what was that film that Sam Neill was in? The one that was set in Berlin before the wall came
Or
down.
Possession.
Yeah, that it's got those kind of vibes at the moment for me. This has.
Andrei Zulowski,
Who was that?
the director
Oh, right.
of Possession.
I know it's got that lady, that French lady who
Yeah.
goes a bit nuts.
Isabella Gianni.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
that's right.
Isabella Gianni. Get your
It's
bread.
looking a bit bad. This is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit quiet.
Whoa. Yeah, not good. It's a bit like Shaun of the Dead at the moment. This is.
Yeah.
That is an awesome film.
It is actually, to be honest, I do like a lot of Edgar Wright stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
Like Sean Hot Fuzz,
I saw that at
The
the
World's
cinema when it
End.
came out.
Mm.
2006, 2007, was it? 2008, something like that.
Something around that time, yeah. 2007, I think. And then World's End was 2012, I
I
think.
still haven't seen that. That's one I haven't seen.
Okay.
Mm.
The Cornetto trilogy.
The Cornetto trilogy.
That's what it's called.
Do you want anything? Cornetto.
Mm. Well, you see, I think in Shaun of the Dead, um, oh, I can't remember his name now. Who stars with?
But
Uh,
the other chap with darker
yeah,
hair. Yeah,
yeah. He has a red cornetto signifying the blood, and
right.
then in Hot Fuzz it's a blue one, and then
I
in World's End it's a green one. So
got all the primary
yeah.
RGB.
Hmm.
Wait. That's got to be a weird thing. You wake up in the morning and basically no one's there.
Well, see, I think, well, it's not confirmed yet. He's like he's looking around and saying, what's happened. He doesn't know because, but obviously, he's
Well, he knows he was on the juice the night before, though. So,
well, it's no, he wasn't.
right,
It's revealed later on what he was doing, but I
right.
don't want to spoil it for anybody. So,
Yeah, it looks pretty real.
it does. That's true.
Mm.
Does.
This looks pretty cool, actually, how they've done this.
Yeah, for a $1 million New Zealand dollar budget, it
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
it was really good. Like,
Money's worth.
definitely. I think it made the equivalent back of 33 million. So
But the
back in
thing
the
is,
day,
though, an episode of the 18 was it like $1 million in like 1984? Was it?
I have no clue, honestly.
It was quite a lot of money for the 18. I mean, they're always blowing stuff up.
Mm,
I mean, they've got a plane here. I wonder where they got that from.
yeah.
Mm. Do you
He's
remember
very
that
small in comparison
film,
to it.
Millennium?
The film, Millennium.
Like 89-ish, I think it would have been.
Okay.
And it's about like a time, it's like messing around with time and taking people from the past, taking them to the future.
Oh, right. Okay. Never heard of it.
And it's sort of like it's got like a plane theme because the sort of plane accidents or whatever. It's well worth
Mm.
seeing.
Oh, well,
is he working for the defence? Is he some defence?
some project. That's all I'll say.
He just rolls into the office. It's like that's a proper computer. That is none of this Windows 11
Oh yeah,
malarkey.
yeah. See, yeah. I think I've seen them from now, but yeah, yeah. That's a good computer.
So what's that? Tokyo, New York, Tokyo, Brussels. What was that?
London, Bonn, Cairo, Brasilia,
Mm.
Moscow, all the different cities.
He's probably like Batman. He's got like a red phone, like
The
on the desk kind of thing. So
hotline.
he's there with his little Commodore 64 and his like red phone. Yeah, look at those monitors. Those are proper monitors. Those are. Yes.
No answer.
Well, the thing is though, have you read Neville Shoots on the Beaches?
No.
On the beach, even not on the beaches. It's like there's been a nuclear winter, and I think it's like New Zealand or Australia or somewhere like that, and they're just waiting for the world to end. Basically, it's really
Oh,
depressing.
lovely.
I've not read it all, but I've read part of it.
Excuse me.
SBBG. Oh, look at that.
Mhm.
Probably where they grow the tomatoes,
Yeah.
or where
There we
you get
go.
a tan, like a fake tan.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah. Look at that proper computer. Operation Flashlight complete.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool, like the Andromeda Strain.
Yes.
That is one of my favourite films. That is.
Cool.
Like, have you read any of Crichton's novels?
Not knowingly. I might have
Right.
done in the past, but without knowing it was him. But
Oh dear, look at that. That looks like Ronald Reagan from Spitting Image.
yeah.
Oh, look at this. This is serious. He hasn't even had a coffee yet.
Nope.
Emergency.
Let me out.
This is awesome. I haven't seen this. I thought I had seen it. I haven't seen it before.
All right. Okay.
That is not good. You get really good at playing Tetris or chess in a situation like this.
Yeah, I think you'd be kind of lonely if you're playing chess. Like if you're
Yeah,
playing
you do.
Tetris, you might have a better chance.
Well, the problem with Tetris is if you play it long enough, it just speeds up. It just becomes
Yeah.
impossible. So it just
Mm.
gets you on the timer. But it
There
is a
is a
good game,
technique
Tetris.
apparently.
Is what, sorry?
There is a technique to kind of slowing it down,
Oh yeah.
but I don't know if it works. Like it just
Is
thought.
that on the Game Boy or a different version?
I think it's on the Game Boy.
Hmm.
No, actually, no. NES it is on. So I
I've
remember.
played multiple versions over the years, but I
I've
really like
I
it.
played the Game Boy and NES versions on. I've
Mm.
emulated them. So
Well, you had a NES, didn't you, when you were younger?
yeah, I did, but I didn't have many. Like I had a lot of two-player games,
Mm.
but I didn't. The only one-player games I had was Super Mario 2 and Mission Impossible.
I didn't have a NES when I grew up, but I mean, we in England it was more sort of Sega were more popular. But
Ah, right.
as I got older, I actually went backwards more into the NES. I still play NES games often. I don't
Hmm.
really play anything modern. The most modern machine I've got is a Dreamcast.
All right.
That's like 1998, is it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Late
did you hear that they're
1990s.
bringing out the Neo Geo again? There's another Neo Geo
All right.
coming out.
Oh, jeepers. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's it's called the AES Plus.
Okay.
It's coming out at the end of November, I think it is, or mid-November this year.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love the Neo Geo. Look at that!
I
Wow.
remember playing some of the games in the arcade,
Yes.
like
Fatal
golf
Fury.
game, the golf game.
Oh, Over Top Goal on the Neo Geo.
Yeah, well, it was an arcade,
Yeah.
and then there was basketball game. I can't remember,
Mm.
Street Hoop or something it's called.
Street Hoop, yeah, that's on the Neo. Yeah,
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 I can't
yeah.
remember
It's an
anything else.
amazing machine.
Say again?
It's an amazing machine, the Neo Geo. Some of the games are worth thousands now.
Ooh, wow, that's mad.
So is he going to try and get some tapes now and try and work out what happened?
He's probably trying to record himself. Well, that's what he's going to actually going to do. He's going to record.
Right.
So if you're kind of an SOS signal,
Yeah.
if you're live, come to see this place or
Yeah. It's got to be a bad situation.
well, that's the thing. You see, he doesn't know that there's other people out there, but he's hoping there is,
Yeah.
and we know there is because of the cast.
Am I the only person? What was it? Am I the only person on
Am I the only
Earth?
person on left on Earth? My name is Zach Hobson, 2
Eh,
Thurston Avenue, blah blah blah. Come contact me.
yeah. So really, this is a good way of actually running to budget because you only have to employ one actor.
Yeah, for the foreseeable. Yeah, I think he actually co-wrote this as well, Bruno
Oh,
Lawrence.
really?
So taxi.
Have you read many comics over the years?
Admittedly, more Marvel than any other, but
Okay.
so probably not. I have read, like Beano and Dandy and stuff like that, but and
Well, there's
Oink.
one that's an Argentinian one that's really famous called Eternaught.
Oh yes, yes, I've seen, we've seen
Well
the
recommended.
adaptation of it. Yes, yeah, I've seen that. The end of the
Yeah.
world, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really well done. I only found out about it like last winter,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's really well done.
Apparently they're making a second series of it. So
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it's a TV thing now, isn't it, as well?
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not really. I'm really slow at getting around to watch. I'm very bad at watching TV. Like really bad.
That's all right. Not
I
letting it
know. I
go.
know. There's a new Dune film coming out at the end of the year, but that's all. I don't know anything else.
Yeah, it's kind of Dune Part 3, and it's meant to be kind of like Dune Messiah, or
Yeah, that's when it all falls apart for Paul. Then, well,
hmm,
yeah, I've read
and they're
all
doing the
the
rest of it as a
novels.
TV series.
Yeah, I know
So
they did a TV. Well, they did one in the 2000s, was it? Which I've got on DVD,
yeah,
which is
James
like
McAvoy, and
sci-fi channel thing.
that's right. Yeah,
I've got that one, but they did another one which I never bothered looking at that.
yeah, they did recently Dune Prophecy.
That's the one, yeah.
Kind of like they're kind of setting the seeds of the Bene Gesserit.
Yes.
How
How they
like
got
manipulating things.
themselves. Well, there was the Trades Guild Navigators School. They were like into maths, and then there's like the Bene Gesserit. They're like psychologist types.
Hmm.
And who was the other one? Who was the other main school?
Yeah, empaths for maps. Yeah, soldiers. There were soldiers ones, weren't they?
The Sardaukar, is it? Or
I see. I haven't read any of
oh, okay.
Herbert's work. Brian Herbert's work or whatever.
Oh
So I
no,
wouldn't be.
no.
Familiar.
Frank is he did the original
Frank,
six.
sorry, Frank. Yeah, I wouldn't be as familiar as you would be, to be honest with you. So,
Right.
but I'm only going
Yeah.
by the films. And
Well, I mean, visually, the ones that Denis Villeneuve did, I thought visually were really, really well done.
hmm,
Um, I mean, he didn't sort of mess it up and turn it into a big Hollywood type blam blam zap zap you're dead sort of thing. I mean,
yeah,
it was pretty brutal the way he did it. Um, but
yeah,
I specifically don't pay any attention to what's you know trailers or anything. I like to just walk in
mm,
completely innocent, really. Just see the film from nothing, no expectations.
so
Yeah,
that's kind of fresh.
Yeah, I mean that's when I was growing up, you'd see like a trailer, but it wouldn't show you the whole film. It would just give you a little bit
Yeah,
to like make you think, right, I need to go and see that, or that looks interesting, but not like the trailers. I think give too much away these days.
there is that criticism, right? Yeah, of like
Mm.
Christopher Nolan's making the Odyssey. It's coming out in July, I think,
Uh,
July August. So, and they released a trailer there a couple of days ago. I haven't watched it yet, to be honest, yet. But if it's anything like a lot of his earlier work, it'd be good. So,
mm. But the other thing as well is they tend, because of social media and YouTube and all that, they tend to overanalyze things and really take
yeah,
everything apart first. So I
there
don't
are.
mind someone saying, here's a review, this is what we think,
Mm,
and they'll say, we're not going to tell you everything about the film, we're just going to give you our perspective, but we're not going to tell you what's going to happen. That's fair enough, but it just sort of spoils it for me if I know everything before I walk in.
mm,
You know.
yeah, like there's Avengers Doomsday coming out in December as well, and which is leading up to Avengers Secret Wars the year after. And people are complaining the fact that there's no trailer for Doomsday yet,
Right.
to the public.
Are they trying to keep it quiet then?
I don't know maybe they're waiting until the latest Star Wars project is finished
Right.
because Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel, so
Do they? Mm.
the
I
films.
know they bought Star Wars and then they got Marvel as
Oh,
well.
they got Marvel, yeah, a lot of they got Marvel first.
Mm.
The thing is, they don't have every character on the rights to every character, so
Okay.
they got rights to the majority, but the only ones that happen was Spider-Man and his gallery and the Hulk, so which is Sony and Universal respectively. Everything else is Disney. So
Yeah.
so the new Spider-Man coming out in July. Sony are marketing that as a Sony movie.
So, when you were a kid, then was it mostly Marvel comics growing up?
Well, depends. When I was a kid, it was the Dandy and the Beano, and then I
Yeah,
got
yeah, we had
into
that.
Marvel. Well, Dandy, the Beano, Buster, and Oink.
Oh, I don't remember Buster and Oink.
Oink was just kind of like a basic toilet humor.
Right. A bit like
Um,
Viz,
yeah, but a children's version of it.
children's version of Viz.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
But then when I got in my pre-teens, like 10, 11, I got into Marvel and some
Mm,
DC, and then as time went on, I kind of stopped collecting comics and give
yeah.
them away. So
Well, I mean, we did have it. I think there was more. I always remember there was Batman floating around, but that was DC. But
yeah,
we
mm.
had like a lot of like 2000 AD growing up in England, and I still read that to this day. You
Yeah,
know,
we had that too, but I wouldn't be familiar. I know obviously of Dread and Eagle, and
yeah, Dan Dare and all that.
yeah, I know about them, but I wouldn't be familiar.
Yes,
As in the intricacies of the characters and the likes.
yes,
Like, whereas if you said to me like, why is certain person attacking certain person in Marvel? I could give you a history of the characters and their beefs. For a certain bit of knowledge, but our next stream is going to be about comic book movies, but
right,
we're doing it in parts. We're not doing the first we're just doing the non MCU and DCU movies. So we're going up to 2007. So concentrating on like Batman and from Superman. Um, let's see what else could it be. Blade.
are you going to look at any of Alan Moore's stuff?
Yeah, we are
Because
hopefully
he's
like V
done,
for Vendetta and stuff like that.
yeah, he's done From Hell.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
He did the Swamp Thing, but
That's right.
I've never seen any of his film adaptations at all. I've only read the comics.
All right. Well, he famously didn't like um, V for Vendetta, so
Well,
we're going to be doing.
I mean, have you read the graphic novel V?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I think it's decent. It's
It's
not his
very,
best
very good.
one though, but I do think it's decent.
Yeah,
I
I
think
do think so too.
have you read From Hell?
I haven't, but I enjoyed the film.
Okay, well the comic itself is like just looking at a page is there's so much to it. It looks so simple, but it's like an encyclopedia almost on every page. It's so much that
All
it's
right.
almost
Yeah,
like an overload. But I think that's his greatest work.
cool.
But
I'm
I
just going
really
to
liked him for the Swamp Thing as well.
I'm just going to nip to the loo. So you're gonna have to hold the fort for a few minutes.
I shall hold the fort. Here we have a chap who's dealing with realization that he might be the only one left. Yes, a few delusions rolling in. Hmm. That'd be pretty cool actually if you just turn everything off when you felt like it. Mm, right. Because you can. Middle of the cricket ground, is it? A bit of rugby. That'll be rugby. Oh no, what is it like? Australian rules football, is it? Maybe.
Jesus Christ! He
So,
shot Jesus.
how did they get permission to do this?
Hmm. That's a good time to come in. Oh, I don't know. It's definitely gives a message, doesn't it?
Mm,
Oh, there. Hmm. Excuse me.
buy a case. Okay. So this is all on like what was it, $500,000 or $1 million Australian at the
A
time?
million New Zealand dollars, so it would
New
have been
Zealand even
about
not. Yeah.
probably around 300 pounds.
The ratio of Australian to US is about half. I don't know what it is in New Zealand.
Hmm. Probably something similar,
Right.
maybe less. So it would.
Those are
It
massive
definitely
wheels.
made
Look
his
how
money
big
back.
those wheels are.
That's a scary size wheel, isn't it?
Yeah. You wouldn't get much change out of one of them, would you? Rolling over you.
No, that's for sure.
He's sort of engaging in all these little experimentations, and that was a massive wheel. Yeah. Do you remember that Twilight Zone? Was it Twilight Zone episode where there's that clerk who's always reading books, and he's left on his own. He survives something, and he's left on his own,
Yeah, I think
and
it
his
is Twilight
glasses
Zone. Yeah,
smash.
yeah. I think it is Twilight Zone. Yeah,
It's
I
one of
do
the early
know the
ones.
episode you're on about, but I'm trying to think. Is it what is it? Outer Limits or Twilight Zone? I think it's something
Oh, it
Twilight
might.
Zone.
Yeah, it might be the Out Limits. Actually, yeah, it might be.
But I do know the episode you're on about.
Yeah.
It's kind of it was inspired by Omega Man.
Yes.
So if it was that, so
Have
Outer
you
Limits.
seen the one with Vincent Price in?
Yeah, I have.
I think that's awesome.
That's the superior version.
Yeah, he plays it so well.
Don't get me wrong, Charlton Heston's all right, as you know,
Yeah,
but yeah, Vincent Price is a legend
Price
for a reason.
rules.
And
Yeah.
again, the remake they had in, with Will Smith. Oh God,
Haven't seen that. Oh, you mean I Am Legend?
that's the one.
Yeah, I saw that at cinema probably about 2006 or 2007.
That's when it came out, roughly. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very good because it was around about the same time I saw 28 Weeks Later.
Oh, well, that was
So I'd been to the
2007.
cinema just before Christmas,
Hmm.
and a cinema full of viewers, and it was sort of like CGI, and I thought, nah, this is nothing. And then I was on my own in the house watching 28 Weeks Later, absolutely frightening.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is I mean, they're not zombies, but I know they'd have to follow the zombie code of conduct, but my God, they can move.
Yes.
And they're crazy. Have you seen the second 28 Years Later part at the cinema?
I've seen the four of them so far.
Yes. Well, I
28
was
days,
actually
28 weeks,
laughing.
28 years.
You
Hmm.
know, when it starts, you got those two sort of almost like they just walked out of Waitrose,
Yeah.
sort of very middle class people walking around, and that guy gets taken out. And I was just laughing when they were all like, crowding around him and taking him out. It was just ridiculous. I suppose that lady who escaped, I suppose she'll probably be in the third one, will she?
Um. Well, they're making it. It'll focus probably on the original Jim, Killian
Yeah.
Murphy's character. So
Because we're not sure what happened to that other lady, but he's got a daughter, hasn't he?
yes, yeah,
Because they were like talking about like the Weimar Republic and certain forms of economic theory, and then they get
yes,
like an alarm, then they have to run off. Yeah.
yes, that's right. Yeah.
What's he doing on the computer then? Oh, there's a lady there. Look with a gun. Get out of my kitchen. Have you
Somebody
got an
else is alive.
oscilloscope on there? Sorry.
I said somebody else is alive.
Yeah. Someone else is alive. Oh, is that his partner or something?
I don't think so.
Just met each other.
Yes, pretty much. I love you. Love you too.
You'll do.
Let's repopulate the earth together.
That would be full-time work.
Yes. I just hope he's a doctor in other ways as well.
Yes.
But it must be, very. Was that Prosecco? Or not Prosecco, but Buckfast? The bottle?
They probably ran out of champagne. He's probably drank all the champagne.
Hmm. It looked like
I
a
think you
Buckfast
get bored
bottle.
of it though. If you drink your champagne every day, you get bored of it.
Yeah, sparkling water for me.
So in Ireland, is the green one the middle one, or is
What do you
it the
mean?
blue one or the red one? So in Germany, the red one is still, The blue one
Oh, right.
is the most sparkling, and the green one is the middle sparkling.
Okay. We just got blue and green. Green
Okay.
sparkling.
And blue is just standard. Okay. Because a guy I was talking to in Holland a couple of years ago, he says, "Oh, um, is the blue one still?" And we're like, "No." So they've got a totally different standard in Holland that we have in
Oh, right.
Germany.
Okay. Jeepers. Confusing. You think the European Union will be having a uniform?
No, why would we agree on anything?
Ah, no.
If we all agreed, we wouldn't have anything to talk about, would we?
Oh, that's true. It'd be very dull.
Or at all. How does anyone sleep under a light like that?
I know. I
Is
wouldn't
he
be able
going
to
to
do
get like a marker pen and start drawing eyebrows on her?
it. Yeah, she's sorely lacking in that department, I think, doesn't she?
Yeah. Well, he's missing a bit of hair as well. But
Ah, yeah.
I just love that computer in the background. It's like a proper computer. What is she
Like the computer
wearing?
from Electric Dreams.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Proper computers.
Ugh, I needed that. I was thirsty. But it's a very beautiful movie,
Mm.
cinematography wise.
Well, have they got? Do you say they got some kind of grants to when they made this, or did they do it off their own bat?
I think they did it on their own back, to be honest with you,
Right.
because there wasn't there wasn't much of an industry in New Zealand as such.
No, no.
Australia obviously had Mad Max and Gallipoli and
Yeah, but
things like
wasn't that
that.
like a doctor or a dentist or something put the money up for that? Mad Max.
Yeah, George Miller, he was a dentist, I think.
Actually, some of the richest people I know are dentists. They're
Hmm.
loaded. That is
Well,
how you make money.
there's a guy down from us, about half a mile down the road from us.
Yeah.
He used to supply dental equipment,
Yes.
and his house is nice.
A couple of billion euro.
Pretty much, I would say.
Yeah.
He's got it stashed away, and his wife was a banker, so they weren't short of a few
So,
euro. But the house is lovely, like to be honest with you, it's a lovely garden as well. But they don't. They're nice people. Don't get me wrong.
mm,
They're just they got plenty of money.
right
Um,
time, right place, right idea.
hmm,
So, like in the 70s, it was oil.
yeah,
In the 80s, it was property.
yeah.
Then the .com thing before it
That's
all
what I'm saying.
exploded.
90s was computer tech and stuff like that.
Yeah, but now they reckon AI it's gonna be even worse than the .com bubble, and it all goes the wrong way
Yeah. AI.
because
There was
there's
some.
too much money in. They just put too much money into it.
AI
Yeah,
has some use, but it's terrible.
yeah, it's got uses, but then again, everything's got a use. But it's like I don't think it's not a silver bullet. It's not going to solve
No,
all of life's problems.
no, exactly.
I mean, let's say that here we are now, 30, 40 years later with the internet. It's changed people's lives, sure.
Hmm.
And AI will probably, have some impact, but I don't think it's going to save everyone.
No,
You know,
I think you
you
see,
could,
like John was saying to me, off stream
mm,
one night. He got a wee bit disillusioned because there's some content on YouTube or whatever on Facebook. It's just so obviously AI driven or
a lot
created,
of it is now. Yeah,
and it's getting thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of views. And whoever created this, obviously, might take them 5 minutes, do a prompt,
Mm,
do a video, edit, add a bit of music, whatever, and that's them done.
yep.
Like there's one, oh, I forget the name of the person or the account, but they kind of copied word for word um, a video from a channel called Cinefix. Have you ever heard of them?
I don't think so.
They're kind of American. They're kind of like talk about cult movies and talking about world cinema and all that.
Mm,
But this video was about 9 films that broke the mold, and it was every film on that list was copied into this AI video.
yeah.
And it was like word for word, verbatim. And I was like, and I commented on it. That's actually Cinefix's video, or same script.
They just lifted the script basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I got a like from somebody who commented as well on the video.
Mm,
But they wouldn't like it. Of course not, because it's they're getting thousands and thousands of views. And but you see, I do like. I know things aren't real. There's videos going about. Like a dog and a cat that they might be playing games or whatever. Stuff like that. I do like because it's I know it's not real, but it's funny. You know what I mean? But there's also obviously real content out there, and that needs to be supported.
yeah. I think what it is that I think now we live in an era where people expect video media is completely valid now.
Yeah, it's instant, isn't it? For a
It
lot of
is
people, they want
instant, yeah.
like they
So
want it
you,
now.
you don't have to sit there and sort of consider things. So when you engage with writing, if you read or if you write or whatever, um, it cannot be an instant. It's not just like reading a page and you get it.
Hmm.
You might have to read something and it could take years for you to work out what they mean.
Yeah.
Whereas I think what worries me now is that it's very ABC done,
Hmm.
1, 2, 3 done, and it's like that's very very primitive.
Yeah, and then just an example from my own experience is like I read a lot of Gothic literature growing up,
Yes,
and especially Bram Stoker and
Bram Stoker. Yes, exactly.
yeah, and Mary Shelley and
Yeah,
you know Robert Louis Stevenson. But if you see Mary Shelley's Frankenstein,
yeah,
um, it says Frankenstein or the postmodern Prometheus.
yes.
If you're reading that for the first time, you don't even know who Prometheus is.
No, because you won't get the allegory, you won't get the
Exactly.
reference that
Yeah.
basically the heart. What was it? He would be reborn but have his heart packed out
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
from
The
the.
liver, his liver.
That's it. Not the heart. Yeah, the liver. That's it.
Yeah.
Um,
All
but
forgiven.
it's
The fire
because in
driven
those
thing.
days you would have studied Greek, Latin. You would have done.
Yeah.
You'd have to know those references.
Yeah.
So years and years ago, I remember Andrew Eldritch of the Sisters of Mercy saying that you know in the old days people got the references, now they don't,
Yes.
and that was
Exactly. That's
then.
my
That was
point.
like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. That's my point.
So I think it's a sort of race to the bottom.
Hmm.
And I have faith that it won't stay that way because what will happen is it'll all fall apart and then it will have to be built back up again.
Yeah. Like I suppose like what we're doing, well, for this channel is doing is kind of like it's an easy way out doing live streams.
Mm,
But I feel I know I probably am wrong in saying this, but it's my opinion. I think that myself and John, yourself and Adam, and other people
the
who take
fans,
part in this, huh?
the fans.
Yeah, but who are our content is like it's not AI scripted. It's not
God
it's
no.
you know
I think we have too many technical issues for it to be
yeah
AI. This is not like Skynet here, people.
yes yes exactly yeah. But that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like there's like we're fans of cinema. We're fans of film
Yes.
in general, cult film especially. You know,
Yeah.
like I know I like. older films, maybe it's not
Well, I
for
think
everybody.
I do. I mean, a new film to me is anything in the last 40 years.
Well, when I'm talking about like older films, I mean like like Fantomas and Dude X and
Yeah,
and Metropolis and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
examples like that. The
But
Sean.
also, I get the impression that you and John actually bothered to read,
Oh yeah.
and I get the impression these days that a lot of younger people just don't bother,
Mm.
which is
And that's
quite
one thing. It's
concerning.
instant.
Hmm?
AI can tell you a summary of a novel in.
Yeah, but they may be able to give you summary, but it doesn't mean they understand anything, though.
Exactly.
I know
Then
that, you know that, but the kids will find out.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's like
I was talking
even.
to a lady who worked at a university in Holland a couple of years ago, and we were at the same event for a couple of days, and she was saying that like mathematical proofs, and when
Mm,
you prove something, like you basically learn how to use the tools to actually prove that something can be or show how something works.
yeah.
Now the kids don't do that; they just walk up to the AI and say, "Tell me how."
Mm,
And they don't realize that if you were a carpenter and you'd learned to use tools and to fashion something out of a medium, that is the craft.
yes.
You are, if you can get up on a stage and play a guitar or a drum kit, that is the craft.
Like for me, like I used to feel like I had no discernible talent.
Mm,
Um, you know, and like I couldn't saw a piece of wood straight, or I couldn't craft something from metal, or even drill a hole straight, whatever.
right.
And I felt I was useless for a long time. And then I felt, okay, I'll give sport a try. And I played basketball, and I played for the town and won county championships, and all that. And but I still felt I was useless because I wasn't getting picked enough to play games.
Mm,
So I was like, I was the youngest, well, one of the youngest in the team. So I felt, okay, maybe it's my age or whatever, but whatever. But then a couple of years ago, maybe about 12 years ago, I actually did find one of my, well, we'll say hidden talents, and I do like to, to do. I love to cook
yes.
and create stuff from scratch, and that's science. Creating something like like in the right quantity
Yes.
to add a bit of flavor to a
But
piece of.
it's an art though. It's
Yeah,
also
it's
like,
hard
say
to.
if you got certain ingredients, you're like, okay, what can I do with this?
Hmm,
So you're not like making cod and blur, 5-star cooking every night, but it's a skill.
yes.
And if you have that skill, like how to buy ingredients, what to cook and this, that, the other, your basic food groups, and all that, like it's a real life skill.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. And that's the thing as well. You see, kids today won't have that.
Yeah, I know, I know.
What you were saying about they don't look up things, or they don't they just ask you how do you do this, but they
Yeah,
don't
I mean
have.
it's a bit like just typing in on the calculator, but not knowing like the mechanics of things.
Yeah.
How things are connected. So I never use a calculator. I did all the way through university and college. I never need a calculator because it wouldn't really have helped. So I used to do sort of in your head, quick, rough calculations, which I still rely on. And,
Mm,
back of the envelope calculations are quite normal. I mean, I
yeah.
keep envelopes. Say if someone sends me an envelope for a bill or whatever, I just keep the envelopes and I write stuff down on them just to throw
Mm.
away. So,
Like my dad, he taught me long division when I was 5 years old.
yeah, yeah, long division, yeah.
You know,
Did you do
not ordinary division,
algebraic long division?
huh?
Did you ever do algebraic long division?
I don't know
So most people do arithmetic, which is what you do at
that.
school, but there's
Yeah.
also algebraic long division.
Okay, I never heard of that.
Well, you used it. I did engineering and all that. I remember having to come up with a shortened form or a more condensed form of things and all that. But it's really just sort of jumping through hoops, but it gives you a confidence that you can tackle bigger problems.
All right. Okay.
You know. It's like if you were playing a piece of music live, you can't just play it.
Mm.
You have to sort of like build up your memory and your muscle coordination, and
Yeah.
if you think about it, you'll make a mistake, so you get good at not thinking. You know, so if I'm playing drums and I try and think about it too much, I'll mess it up. So I don't bother. So you can't know that. You can't walk up to the AI and say, "Do that for me."
Mm.
You have to just know by doing it.
It's like
You
Lexi
know?
said to me about, 'cause like she plays, keyboards and, and guitar,
Oh yeah.
and she said to me, "Don't be afraid to make a sound.
No, no.
Just, don't, you won't get good otherwise."
Well, I
Like I
remember
can.
telling the professor there's a finite number of mistakes you can make,
Mm,
and once you've gone through them all, then there's no more mistakes you can make, basically.
yeah. But you see, I have very, I used to play bass guitar,
Oh
but I
yeah,
wouldn't be as, wouldn't be that great. Like, be just enough to get, play a few songs. Like,
yeah.
but you know, like people like Paul Weller. Okay, he's not a bassist, but he was an influence,
Yes.
and just basically the Clash and bands like that. That didn't need much chord structure, but when you hear a complicated song, we'll say like Layla by Eric Clapton, and you think, oh my god, how am I supposed to play that? Like, but the thing is, you see, he probably rehearsed and probably think, oh, he about 10 minutes, right in the first maybe open bars.
Mm.
It's not going to be that comes to him straight away. It's like he put it down on paper. Does it work? No, it doesn't. Okay, let's try again. Something else.
Well, it's ideas though. So a mate of mine, the guy from Glasgow, he's quite into music. I mean, he's got another job as well, but he's basically professional. Because he was in bands and touring and all that sort of stuff.
Mm,
But he still makes a lot of music. He told me, he says, I can come up with something. It might take me years to complete a song. He says,
yeah.
but if I save an idea, then there might come a time where I think, that'll fit there.
Mm.
I do the same. I'll often create lots and lots of little pieces, and maybe I'll chuck them away, maybe I'll modify them, maybe I'll use them. I don't know. But if you've got to have it to chuck it away, or say I don't need it. So
Well,
if
that's
you
that,
try,
that's what I mean. He with Clapton, he probably you know for the first maybe opening scale, he would maybe
mm,
took 10 minutes, but the rest of the song is very complicated. So maybe it took him a couple of years or maybe 6 months. I don't know,
yeah.
but it wasn't an overnight thing.
Well, I think music teaches you timing. So if you
Mm,
do like traditional visual art, like painting and drawing or whatever, you learn how to section out and proportion things physically, but that won't teach you about timing. Whereas music, I think, does teach timing, and you
and
you
patience.
sort of develop a sense for what will work. So if you can put down the notes, but the thing is, it's the timing between the notes actually that's actually probably more important.
Mm,
you know. So if you look at like tablature, like bass or guitar tablature or whatever, it may not have any timing information. It's just press this key here, press that key there,
yeah.
you know. But it doesn't mean that you've got the timing right. So you could be mathematically precise with the timing, but then again, it wouldn't feel very musical.
No.
So you can have no timing in it at all, and it wouldn't sound musical, or you can have mathematical precision, and it wouldn't sound musical because it would be too precise.
Mm.
So between the two
Happy medium.
extremes,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be said for just trying things yourself. You know,
Well, that's what you see. That's what Lexi does. She would kind of like experiment with different sounds and stuff, see what would work.
mm,
Like her first two albums, or she did kind of very poppy stuff, and
yes,
it was nice, and it was nice, and nothing wrong with it. But her latest album, which is I think going out next year, she's aiming for, but it's very different. and it's something that she's been wanting to work on for a long time. So,
You
but I
got a
say it's
studio
giving
at
her a
your
go.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got part. I mean, I have a small apartment in Berlin, but about a fifth of my apartment is just studio,
I
basically.
well, our old well, as I said before in the stream, like this is my family home,
Yes.
but our old kitchen or living room area is now the studio area,
Hmm.
and then there's the kitchen, and then
So
here's
is Lexi using a multi-tracker, or how does she get the tracks down?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Right, right.
I need to ask her. I'll get back to you, sure.
Because I do have computers and all that. I've got a Macintosh and all that. But to be honest, I don't really bother using it that much.
Hmm.
I tend to just sort of like record onto the multi-tracker, and then it's basically saved on a SD card. Anything I
Oh,
want,
right, okay.
you know. So then I can take those, the music files later, and
Hmm.
work with them if I want to. But my mate, he's got like a cassette, tape cassette,
Yeah.
um, multi-tracker. So he can just record, like, 4 track, 8 track, or whatever. So he'll do his drums and his bass or whatever and layer them up. It's quite an organic way of doing things. It's very immediate as well. So, yeah, I know quite a few people involved in music as an interest. I mean, John's quite active, isn't he? He's got like Pro Tools and all that, and he plays guitar.
Yeah, that's right.
And Glenn plays bass.
And guitar. Yeah,
He play guitar as well, does
he does. Yeah.
he? I can't play anything with strings, unfortunately. Mind you, I know a few bass players, and one of my mates when I was at college, a bloke called Phil, he was in punk bands and all that. And when we got a distortion pedal on a bass, that was it. We were like, yes, we have arrived. I remember it now. It was 30 odd years ago, but I remember it very well.
I just sent you stuff on Discord there. So
I shall have a look later.
yeah, that's just pictures of Lexi's studio. So
Oh, okay. Well, I will be a nerd, and I will have a look and see. Well, what I do is I try and have no more than 4 synthesizers.
hmm.
So each synth serves a purpose. So it's got to be something I can use, and I actually think that the most equipment I use is not the expensive stuff; it's the standard stuff that's the most useful. You know, so I'm always quite cautious. I haven't bought any new music gear for years. You know, because I think you can have too much and then you just don't use it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think a lot of it's just creativity. It's like, oh, what happens if I do that?
Yeah,
Sort of
that's
thing.
what she was saying. But don't be afraid to make a noise.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It
Like
is a lot.
I would have been afraid like to do that, especially on the keyboard because. But she says it's sturdy. It's not going to break. Like plus it's under guarantee if it does break. So
Well, I've got one broken key on. I've got a very rare synth, and it's got one broken key. But I'm hoping I can, just send for a replacement mechanism. But all my stuff. I mean, I've got a synthesizer now that's about 43 years old.
wow.
Still, I mean, I can probably fix it as well because it's the components inside it. I could probably fix it, with what I know. But modern stuff, you can't really fix it the same way because it's all just electronics. You can't, tiny little electronics. You can't fix it. Or you need
I
special
wouldn't.
equipment
I
if
wouldn't
you
have
do.
a clue to be honest with you.
No,
I'm
it's
not
not.
that
It's not
technically
nice.
minded.
Yeah, but yeah. So I try and keep it down to 4 synths, and then I've got lots and lots of FX gear that I use.
Cool. Just putting
I'm
on the
still
mic
trying to
here.
find my sound.
Here we go.
Mm.
Bit of light on the matter.
What kind of a room are they in? That's a really odd looking room.
I think it's more of a kind of ballroom.
All right.
Trippy, man.
Mm. So it reminds me of when we used to do martial arts sort of
All right.
training sessions. We'd end up
Hey,
in some
Jojo.
hall somewhere, like in a sleeping bag in the middle of winter.
Okay.
Terrible.
That's
I
one thing I never
remember
did.
I did Duke of Edinburgh as well when I was a teenager.
Is
And
that kind of kind of community work? Is it or?
you have to like plan your route and you have to go camping and cross country and all that sort of stuff and know how to read a map properly.
Oh, okay, right.
And I did that when I was at school. And I mean, the one thing really struggle with, I don't know how you are over there, but like in England, they've got like the imperial system.
Yes.
I still doesn't make any sense to me now. Whereas metric, no problem at all.
Oh, we have metric here.
Thank goodness. So I can see a kilometer, I can see a meter, no problem
Mm.
at all. Centimeter, millimeter, no problem at all. Yards, miles, no. I just can't see it. It doesn't. I don't know why it never clicked for me.
Pound of sugar, please.
Pound
Ah,
of sugar. I can see kilograms, but I can't see a pound.
yeah.
I don't know why. It just even though I'm from England, it never made any sense to me.
Hmm.
I think metric makes perfect sense, but
Yeah. You see, we learned. Well, I'm sure your parents were the same. They probably had the imperial side, but we
mm.
learned the metric. My dad did imperial, but whenever he said, "Oh, it's 5 yards that way," I was like, "Huh?"
Yeah, it was a bit of both. So my grandparents' generation, they were all solid imperial,
Mm.
and then sort of parents' generation mixed, and my generation are probably mixed but less so.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what the current generation use or they know.
It's probably metric to be honest. I think metric's the
Probably,
standard
yeah.
in Europe, isn't it? Because imperial would mean America, and I think that's what they
Yeah, that's it. America, they've got that one though.
because they would say, "Oh, it's 20 miles," or like
That's
whatever.
right. Yeah, yeah. There was a guy who, when I was at university, he was doing like naval engineering, and one of his mates could have gone to America or somewhere else, and he ended up not going to America because he didn't want to do Imperial
Wow.
because it was just too much of a headache for him.
Hmm.
And like for me, it doesn't really matter because all the stuff I did was just SI unit. So if you do physics, if you do science, it's all the same.
Yeah.
So I never had to do anything sort of real world, physical, real world. But if I was, working on maps or something every day, or like that, then I think I would not have gone to America as well. I think it's too much trouble. Yeah,
I think you see it's like it's whatever you used to like here. As I
yeah.
said, we would have been metric, and everything. If, I do have a rough idea. Of a mile. How far away it is, and I would
If,
still
if
say,
I work out the approximate ratio,
yeah, that's
I
what I
can
mean.
turn that
Yeah.
into kilometers. Then I understand.
Hmm.
But I can't
Like,
see a mile. It's just a blank space.
yeah. Well, by my logic was always 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers.
Uh huh.
So that's
It's
what
not
I.
even 1.5.
I don't know.
I mean, if it was 1.5, I could work that, but 1.6?
Yeah, I know, but that's just the way I saw it. When I
Yeah.
was growing up, like I
I
don't know.
remember, like when you think about, like the deep sea trenches around the world, there's like these really
Mm.
deep
Like
areas
the
of the
Marinara Trench
ocean.
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the one that James Cameron goes down or whatever. But like when they, if you imagine the distance from where I live to the centre of Berlin or something like that, that's really really deep.
Okay.
So if you could sort of like have a real world sort of analogy or representation,
Mm.
it will be this many football stadiums, or
Oh yeah, yeah.
this, as long as the Titanic, or something that people can actually put a pound coin next to a euro or something like that.
Mm.
Then like, okay, that's how big it is, or how long it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, from our house to town, it's about a kilometre and a half,
Mm.
maybe two. So it's no distance at all.
Well, one of the benefits of living in a large city like Berlin with the transport system, you can actually calculate when you'll be home.
All right.
I mean,
Handy.
assuming that the bloody things are running, because the BVG, the Berlin Verkehrsgruppe, is like terrible these days. It's getting worse and worse as the years go by. But when it all runs nicely, you
Hmm.
can literally, to the minute, pretty much say, I will be home by that point in time on the clock.
Hmm.
You know.
And I always thought the Germans were kind of
Well, they
pretty
are, but
time
the
period.
problem is that we've got problems with the train system over here, because basically we've got a massive train network that you haven't put any money into.
Oh right. Okay.
So Germany has like got massive problems. We've got rid of all the nuclear power stations. The train network needs to be completely sorted out. And of course, we haven't really got any new technologies. We haven't got any semiconductors or anything like that. Well, we've got a little bit of semiconductors, but nothing cutting edge.
Hmm.
So unless you're in the top stake of the game, it doesn't really matter. So we got all the old stuff, all the mechanical stuff, but we don't have any new stuff. In fact, you've
I
got
think
the
it's being.
Silicon Glen, is it, over there?
Was it?
Yeah, you've got like the Silicon Glen, is it? Or not the Silicon Glen, it's like a very high technological innovation area in Ireland.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's it.
Is it
Ennis.
the Fen, not is it the Silicon Fen they call it?
I have no clue.
But it's
I
well
think
known.
it's in Ennis.
Yeah.
I'll Google it, sure.
Well, there's top dollar over there, but after Brexit, a lot of the money's gone to Dublin as well. Because a lot of companies move their offices to
Silicon
Dublin.
Island. That's what it's called.
Right.
Uh, Ireland's new semiconductor strategy, Silicon Island, has been officially launched by the Minister for Enterprise, Tourism and Employment.
Tourism. Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the future, basically, because semiconductors are like the transistors of today.
Yeah.
So everything runs on semiconductors. Well, it's
Hmm.
worth more than cocaine.
Wow.
So the Chinese want it, the Europeans want it, the Americans, everyone wants it. Everyone wants the same thing.
Hmm.
Then the
Yeah.
next one is how do you distribute your power? How do you store power, batteries, and all that? How do you produce power and how you distribute it? And of course, Germany, we had 30 odd nuclear power stations. We've got none now. So we
Wow.
buy, when we need electric, we buy it from France, who are very nuclear.
Keepers.
So I think within the next 10, 15 years, certainly 20, Germany is going to have to uh, go back to nuclear.
Hmm. Well, we've got hydro stations here, so
What's the population in Southern Ireland?
uh, possibly maybe 4.5 million.
That's nothing. That's fine. You can handle that. That's not a problem.
Hmm.
But when you've got, 86 million people, 60, 80 million, whatever it would be, you can't necessarily run off hydro and wind and all that.
Right, I'll tell you exactly what it is now. Where do I
I
go?
thought that you'd got more people actually. Is it only a couple of about 4 million or so?
Right. Right. 4.5 million roughly. This is going by the census
Yeah.
or the Central Statistics Office, as we call it here. 4.5 million Irish citizens, 757,000 non-Irish,
Mm.
so roughly 5,281,600.
It's not that many.
Hmm. And
I
that's
think
in the
there's about
Republic.
10 million Swedes, are there?
Yeah, that's in the Republic, and then the North it's got about 2 million. So
Right.
Northern Ireland.
But with you being a small island, you're probably good for wind.
Oh
These
yeah,
wind
yeah. There's loads
got
of
over it,
wind turbines going about. Yeah.
and also the ones that they have out at sea as well.
Hmm. Yeah,
So I think England's got that up in the North Sea. I think they've got that.
I think so too. Yeah.
And how are you for oil? Have you got much oil reserves around there?
Um. Well, if you believe the government, we don't have anything, but there is oil was found off the coast of Cork a
So is
couple of
that
years back.
northwest?
Well, the government are getting so much a day from OPEC countries and not
Mm-hmm.
to mine it or extract it, I should say.
Because they don't want any competition.
Yeah, but we do have, if we did go alone, we could reasonably keep going for at least couple maybe 1,000 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, depends what happens with the population and all the rest of it. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
you
Yeah,
just don't know in the future. We might have some other technology that changes things. I don't know,
yeah,
but
exactly. Yeah,
I don't know.
but yeah, we're for a wee island, we're not too bad. Like,
Mm. I mean, Germany doesn't. I mean, we do have coal over here, but we don't have a lot of natural resources to speak of.
hmm,
We've got
we
coal
don't
and all
have
that,
coal,
but
but well, we do have. I think we import a lot of from Poland, and so
coal, you mean?
yeah.
I didn't know Poland were a big coal producer.
Oh well, we get them. We get it from there. A lot of them is
Uh,
from other countries. Can't remember which though.
I think the Poles seem to be pretty together. They're really improving these days.
Hmm.
They've got a pretty good technology base.
Yep.
But they've told. I mean, they did the international monetary fund last year. They basically did a report on Germany. And said you're going to have to change your business laws, encourage
Oh,
innovation. Get with the program because if you don't, you're going to miss the train.
hmm.
Because we haven't got any of the new stuff.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, it's not just us. I mean, there's a lot of Europeans that can't really hold a candle to what they've got over in America or anything. But you know, it's just it's Germany's set up really for sort of brick and mortar businesses, like
Hmm.
manufacturing and all that. Whereas the new industries are very quick and stealthy, and the idea that your workforce could be dotted around the world,
Yeah.
not easy to sort of fill in a form, send it to some German office in a village somewhere.
Hmm.
It's just the German setup just is it's just kind of becoming outmoded.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Hmm. I think
And
that's how we used to be. We used to be very insular.
right, yeah, I think the Germans still are.
You know, like until I think digital. A computer factory
Yeah.
or computer right?
Oh,
They
you mean
came to
the deck
Galway.
stuff? The ones that used to do deck?
I'm
They
not sure, but they came to Galway anyway in the late '80s. Um,
Yes.
and then I think Wang computers were made here for a wee while, and then that stopped. And then the Celtic Tiger kind of boomed, and everything was like, because we kind of like we had our electricity and our other national
Sort of nationalised.
well, they were nationalized,
Yeah.
but the Competition Act came in here. So instead of one company controlling everything, it was a lot more. You could have, like, now we have about 10 electricity suppliers. So
Yeah.
But when it comes to like hardcore stuff and like the railways and stuff, like we're lacking.
Well,
Like,
England, I mean Germany. I think this the taxpayer still owns quite a big part of Deutsche
mm,
Bahn,
aye, well,
but
that's the thing here. The buses and trains are are nationalised,
yeah,
but the trains, the network is severely lacking. Like, there's
right,
campaigns going about, and myself, I've signed petitions like to get the Western Corridor open, which is like the route from Sligo down to Galway. Because normally, if you want to get to Galway by train, you have to go to Dublin and then get a
yeah.
train across to
Well,
Galway.
that's what's happened in the UK as well. If you want to go to Oxford to Cambridge, you've got to go to London first,
Hmm.
and then you go from London to the other place. So it's like
Yeah.
all roads lead to London.
Hmm.
There's not a lot of cross country routes now.
And there's a friend of mine on Facebook. He was mayor of Sligo, and he shared a picture of the train station in Sligo that there's no roof, and you compare that to one of the train stations in Dublin, and it's not the best. Like,
Right.
like there's a saying here: Dublin gets everything, and the country doesn't.
It's a bit like London. I mean, basically, London might as well be a different country
Yeah.
because really everything else is just a satellite to London in the UK.
Hmm.
You know,
Pretty much the same here
it's
with
not like
Dublin.
that over here though. So yeah, we've got Berlin, Munich, Hamburg, Frankfurt, but there's not like one capital.
Hmm.
It's a bit more evenly spread.
Yeah, I think
But
the fact that it's Germany is kind of divided into different regions.
yeah, but the money's
You know.
still down in the south though.
Hmm.
I mean, Hamburg's rich, but most of the money's in the south still.
Like Munich and Stuttgart, is it?
Yeah, Munich's loaded. Bavaria's very rich because they put
Hmm.
the money into the right industries at the right time.
Ah, I see.
So if you think about, the Germans, the sort of pride of the automotive industry, and that was the case for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But then they get totally sidestepped by the Chinese with electric cars.
Wow.
They completely didn't see that coming,
That's mad.
and they really have put all their eggs in that basket for a long time.
Jeepers.
So,
I see. Like, we're not really talking about the film as much.
well, basically, when it all goes tits up and we end up with a problem, this is what it'll be like. It's depicted in this film.
Yes. There'll be only three of us left.
Have you thought about if it was like 28 weeks later, 28 years later, what would have happened to Ireland if it was next door neighbours to England?
That's the thing, you see. I think they mentioned it in 28 years later. The first of the
28 days or years?
2 years. They mentioned it was kind of like quarantine as well.
Oh, so Ireland and England, basically, that was it. They were that's it.
Yeah.
On your own.
RNV for Vendetta, the
Yeah.
St. Mary's virus hits both Ireland and Britain.
Mm.
I think it's similar with 20 years later. I think it's.
Well, wasn't there like, flooding and a catastrophe and then this very right wing kind of fascist group take over in V?
I don't think it goes into great detail. I don't think it just says that. I think it just goes to St. Mary's was just affected both, and both countries are in quarantine. So
Mm.
I don't think Alan Moore was thinking that far ahead, to be honest. But he's more concentrated on his critique of Thatcher and stuff.
Yeah, it was sort of early 80s when all that was going on.
Hmm.
I mean, he even says in the forward, he actually says that he probably would leave England, but of course he never did.
Yeah,
So in the 80s he was on about leaving. I think he have an American wife as well.
I think so. Yeah,
He might still be married. I don't
I
know.
think that's why he wasn't a big fan of the film V for Vendetta because it was kind of an American. Okay, it was a British cast mostly, but it was American director and stuff.
Right.
I think I'm
I
not
haven't
sure.
seen the film.
Ah, right, okay.
I've only read the
It
novel.
does take some things away from the graphic novel,
Mm.
but it's yeah, it's faithful enough in its own way, but it's not no, it's not like perfect adaptation.
I don't think anything that exists as literature or even a comic book. I don't think it usually translates, but as well. But um, I know that they did some comics before 28 weeks later and all that sort of stuff, 28 days later.
Mm,
Um, but in my case, I never got around to looking at any of the Alan Moore sort of derived films or anything. But um, I think comic is a good medium because it's not just written and it's not a film, but it's
yeah,
also low budget.
yes.
So if you've got the time and you can write and you've got an artist, so you can sort of be a two, a two person team.
Mm,
I mean, maybe you've got more artists. There's usually not lots and lots of writers, maybe one or two. So you might have several artists if it's a long comic strip, but maybe just one artist and one writer. Whereas when you make a film, I mean, let's say that you don't usually write a book by consortium or like a
yeah.
huge team of people, like 28 people working on a novel. You might
Mm,
you might have a video game with 28 plus people on it. You're more likely to get a film that's got more than 28 people on it.
oh yeah, yeah.
But a novel is usually pretty much one person or very few people.
Mm,
So I'd say a comic is closer to a novel in that sense, where you might have one or two people, you know, working on it. But I think the comics have got value because you can try stuff out. It doesn't cost a lot of money,
yeah.
and if it works, it works.
I'm just when you said that, I just came into my head.
You do what? Sorry,
That's came into my head there.
Walls of the Color.
Yeah,
I've not read that. I'm not even heard of that one.
it's the Dark Tower Part Five. But when you're saying about one person, working on it,
Yeah.
this one is illustrated,
All right.
so it's got loads of illustrations, and I think that adds to it. So there would have
I
been,
do. I do. I've got a nice version of
yeah,
Frankenstein. Oh yeah,
cool.
in colour. And it's got all the references, all the little black ink
Mm,
drawings, and it's. I got it years and years ago, and I was still a teenager. I've got two copies of it. And I always go back to that edition because it's always decent. But as a kid, I used to like sort of drawings and such in books, but not so much now. But have you read like Neil Stevenson's Cryptonomicon?
again, no, I haven't.
Sort of like a science fiction type thing,
Okay.
and it's got diagrams in it and things in it, and all that. But I don't, a lot of the books I read, they don't have a lot of drawings in them so much, but certainly
Mm,
comics. But I tend to go for sort of black ink, white paper sort of comics still.
mm.
So very
I
sort of back
think,
to basics.
yeah, they kind of illustrated the last three books of the Dark Tower series because it was such a gap between Wizard and Glass and the Wolves of the Cala. People might have forgotten, and plus it's also kind of going into the multiverse. Like the first illustration there was of Father Callahan from Salem's Lot.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, so you mean the TV show? Because it's a novel first, was it? Then they did a
yeah,
made for
hmm
TV movie,
yeah, that's right. Toby
like
Hooper directed.
1970 something.
Yeah, hmm
They aren't toadstools.
Nope, that's not a toadstool.
You know what? This is just like kind of on the beach,
All right.
waiting for the end. But I think, from what I've heard, people who live in Australia, New Zealand, and all that, you don't get to see any bands
Okay.
because you are quite far out, so you wouldn't
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
wouldn't get to see as many. I mean, they've got music scenes and everything, but you're not going to get like a lot of bands going over all the time. So what was it? Like 3 or 4 people were taking roles in that film.
3 main roles and then three sub roles.
Because there's a was it policeman walking around playing a saxophone?
No, that was the black guy.
Oh, was it?
Hmm.
Early on. And they all lived happily ever after.
And he's the only one who survived. But that's meant to be Saturn, so
Right. What else was he in? I've seen him before.
okay, let's have a look.
It's like, what am I going to do for the next few years? It's almost
Right.
got like
He
James Bond music now.
he was well, not of the stuff we'd recognise, to be honest with you, but I won't. I know.
Model makers, scenic artist, set painter.
Hmm.
Oh, it was pretty good.
Yep.
It
I
wasn't
think
as
that.
depressing as I thought you made it out to be. I thought it'd be really depressing, but no, it was all
Well, Lexi thought it was silly when we watched it, so
right. All right.
is it okay to finish up because we're
Yeah,
going
no
to watch?
worries. No worries.
Okay. Thank you for whoever was our viewers, even though we've got no one at the minute, but that's all right. It's not about the viewership. It's about, well, it is about the viewership, but it's not about it's to be all. It's not to be all and then all of the channel. So
You don't get prizes.
no, sadly.
Mm.
So with that, I shall say good night.
Good night.
Good night, Minty. Thank you for being my wingman.
No worries. You can send the check.
I will. Yeah. You can tell me later who to send it to, where to send it
That's,
to.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Good night, everybody,
Good
and
night.
thanks for joining us.
Bye.